and welcome to your favorite show, Identities, the show that we talk about the issues that affect you, your social issues, your economic issues, and your political issues. In the month of May, we continue with the conversations around mental health. And in the studio, again, I continue with Tony Friday, our mental health advocate. Welcome, Tony, to the show.
Thank you, Nyari. Thank you.
Thank you. And I have a young woman, Brenda. Brenda, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Right. Tony, I think the last time we spoke about the issues of mental health, we really focused on, there was a lot inclination to the definitions, how we could identify it, but I really want us to get into how. But also, I felt like we kind of touched on the women, and then we've got another young woman here. But I want you to also talk about how mental health, first of all, how do we identify mental health issues? Second of all, how does it affect men?
Well, I mean, if you look at the stats, really, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that there's a problem, especially amongst men. In this country, there's more men committing suicide than women.
Is that so?
And
even boys, I was saying that a lot of young
I'm sure
boys.
You've been reading papers, the students at one of the universities, in fact, at a bunch of the universities, they are committing suicide.
And even blows. I remember one of the saddest, a year or two ago in Metavelaland, there was a boy who was said to be listening to rock music, and then he got into this depression. I don't know if it was depression, but he died. He took his life.
Yes, and it comes from a lie that we've believed as society for a long time, that men don't cry. That's one.
Be a man.
Be the man. And the thing is, the human makeup, is made up in such a way that you are supposed to let out stuff when you're not okay, But because we are socialized...
What kind of stuff, maybe?
Well, I mean, relationship issues, economic factors, family feuds, sickness and disease, But it's mostly relationships and money related. But the point is, society doesn't allow us as men to let out our issues. I always use this example. Talking about a problem is like having a kurwara nemudumbu. Ukarwara nemudumbu, one of two things will happen: either no rutsa or no chai. But you feel better after you do it, right? But now the problem
that was very graphic, and I like it.
So it's like telling someone who is about to throw up kudusa roots. What do you expect to happen after that? So we need.
So in this case, you're saying kuchema, kuchema in this case.
Yes, it's a healing mechanism.
Like the healing mechanism.
It's a healing mechanism. And we've trained our boys and our men that they are not supposed to cry, and they are not supposed to talk about their issues. It's so weird for men to call up another man to say, Sha, I need an ear, I'm going through stuff, Even me just saying it, a lot of men watching this will cringe.
But it's so easy for men to call up another man and talk about girls and women. And
exactly. But I think that we need to fix that. Part of the reason why I'm doing the work that I'm doing now, to retrain our boys and our young men that it's okay not to be okay.
Are you just training boys and men?
It's okay for everyone to talk about their issues when they're not okay.
Oh, I was asking if you only focus on girls and men.
No, we focus on both.
On everyone.
We focus on both, yes.
So I think what I'm hearing is you're saying that the socialization, mwanachikura momntwana ekhula laphana, abantu bathi hayi amadoda akakhali. And then we are forcing the men to bottle up things. I'm not supposed to cry. Then what then happens if you don't cry, Tony? You didn't.
You end up, I'm sure Brenda will confirm here, she has dated quite a couple of men. I don't know it for a fact. I don't know it for a fact, but I know for sure that she has dated a lot of emotionally detached men, violent men, because violent men, they didn't just wake up violent. They are angry about something that happened in their past that they haven't talked about or dealt with, and it comes out when she's dating these guys. And that's where you see the abuse and everything else, coming out.
Is it only men who exhibit what Tony is saying, Brenda, as a young woman. Kuti vanhu vari kupinda relationships very broken, very angry. The slightest mistake that the girlfriend or the wife does, the violence is going to erupt. What are some of the issues that affect young women, especially around mental health issues, in your experience, Brenda?
Okay, with ladies, I think mostly you look at ladies who've been abused, especially when they're growing up. They do face a lot of mental health challenges. Then we have issues of relationships, as Tony said, economic factors, yes.
Sema young women ngatitore nezvazvo kuti kana tichiti economic factors kana tichiti marelationships zvinenge zvakamira sei kuti musikana izvo zvaari kukuona Brenda azive kuti ukatreatwa so and so unogona kuona kuti apa munhu andiri kudhila naye anogona kunge ane ma-issues ari kufanira kudhila nawo. So how does it exactly look like in real life situations?
Okay, with ladies, I've noticed that mostly ladies who've been abused, especially as children, they grow up with a lot of mental health issues. And then we do have, economic factors with, maybe they weren't able to go to school or they don't have access to resources. That puts a lot of pressure on ladies. And then we also have issues of relationships where maybe you're in an abusive relationship and it might be verbal, it might be physical. And so with ladies, we mostly think deeply about things, and then you then find someone becoming depressed or, feeling suicidal because they really haven't found someone to speak to about what they're going through.
What is the role of family? So, for instance, I mean, as you're just talking about some of the burdens that young women or women go through, like abuse, and is there a chance that someone begins to take self-blame? And also maybe the past, you spoke about how maybe as a child, how they are raised. Do you also feel like is there a chance that they also attract people like that?
Yes, there has been research that most ladies who abuse, they then end up with an abuser.
Wow.
Because they might even think that's the way it should be. And they kind of attract that in whether they want to or not. And it's not a good thing, actually. There's need to raise awareness on, as ladies, that if you're going through something, find someone to speak to. Whether in the family setting or even a therapist, because when you speak about certain issues, you get a different perspective and you're able to deal with it more effectively.
So we're hearing what mental health is all about. And sometimes we look at the person who is in an advanced stage and we're thinking, we are not paying, we are low. But how about us? Nesu, we need to look deeper. Are you struggling with depression? Do you know somebody who's struggling with depression? How are you going to identify a person or identify yourself if you need help? When we come back from the break, we're going to dig deeper into saying, how do you identify at a personal level that you need help? Do stay with us.